Hey, that worked. You're amazing. Didn't know you could do that. Good job. Okay, we're so glad you're all here. Thanks for coming. And Jolene and I are so excited to host this master class today and that you would come and join and be with us. We know many of you will be watching through the recording, so welcome to you as well. And we know that you will benefit by spending time watching this class and attending or watching the class because Jolene's phenomenal, especially about emotions. And we're going to be talking about that a lot today. So I'm Shaleen Wilding, and Jolene and I have been putting on these monthly master classes this year. It's just really a fun direction to go so we can delve into a subject a little bit more. And so the classes aren't that short, half hour anymore, just a little bit more to give you some more meat on subjects that will help you in your life. So I'd like to introduce Jolene. So she and I are very similar. We even know people that knew both of us that said, boy, if they ever got together, they'd be great together, powerhouse friends. And when we did meet a few years ago, it has just been a joy ever since. Jolene and I both have large families, and we both have 20 plus grandchildren. And out of those 20 plus grandchildren, the majority of both of our grandchildren are boys. We love a lot of the same things, and we just gel. And we're not on the exact same doTERRA team. We're kind of sister teams, but it is a joy to work together with Jolene. She helps me in my mindset. Hopefully I help her in hers, and we move forward. She has recently had twin grandsons born, and she is housing them, has been visiting and helping now at her home in Utah, helping with those twins. So she might have a little lack of sleep, and we're going to give her a little bit of grace today. And but she has been such a service-oriented grandma in helping with those babies. And it's just a joy to watch them, and that Sarah was able to get wonderful babies here, and it's just so good. So happy about that. Jolene loves to coach, and she's starting a coaching class coming up. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. Reach out to me or to Jolene if you have her contact, because she is going to be starting later on in March a group coaching situation that will be beneficial to you, I am sure. And Jolene is also somebody who maybe I can just be personal a little bit. She makes me feel like I am much better than I am. And I think that she does that for every person she comes around. She has a way of lifting up and helping people move forward. So as we turn the time to her to learn about emotions, please open your heart and your ears to the possibilities of how the oils and other suggestions that she has can help us manage our emotions. And Jolene, turn time over to you.
Thank you. So I do ask for a lot of grace today, just because the material, there's so much material and so much good stuff, and I found new stuff and trying to put it all together. I hope we get through most of it. And if we do get through the part so that we can like do hands-on, I'm excited about that. And I have that, that's the part that like, I don't have it all for you to see, but I have it ready for us to do. So hopefully we'll get through all of that kind of stuff. But one of the, I'm not even sure how to start. Or is everyone okay that I do a lot with slides? I like slides because it gives information that I don't necessarily have to say, or that you might spark other questions. So I'll thumbs up. So I'm going to share screen.
We got it.
Now, if I get the right one.
I got people trying to get in, so that's the hard part too, Jolene. You get to let people in as they come, so.
Okay. It's not letting me see it.
Yeah, we're still seeing your Google Doc. Maybe you do want us to see that, the list of.
Nope, I just can't move it.
Ooh, that's a good list.
Yeah,
You're just trying to make it
I-
bigger?
no, I have it in Canva. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second and see what if I can pull it up.
No problem. Can I tell them about this book while you're figuring that out?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Yes.
So I got this book for Christmas and Sherry gave it to me. She's amazing. Upline, Emotions Made Simple. Now, when I showed it to Jolene about this class, I thought, oh my goodness, I got this cool new book. And she's like, oh, I have that one. So she knew all about it. And she said, how about you tell about it? It is really a beautiful laid out book. And I wanted you to just be aware. There's a few things I wanted to show you. It has the positive and negative emotions wheel in it. So you're able to look up things like, I feel the need to be brave. I want to be adventurous and brave, capable, bold, determined. And then it tells you the page to go to so that you can get more ideas on how to get help with that. Love the wheels. It's just an easy way to go. There's an emotions lookup, probably similar to the list that Jolene's going to show us because it was similar to some of the things she had on there. And Jolene, if you're ready at any time, you just say so and I'll share the book later if you'd like. Then what
I do want you to go into more detail about it at the end.
Okay.
So,
You ready to go then?
Lisa, did you have a question?
No, that's just Daxton.
Okay.
messing
Hi,
around.
Jackson.
Man, he's
Hi.
grown.
Yeah.
Okay. Share.
I'm going to share one more thing while you're still trying to get that work. I love this page because it talks about major oil types and it breaks it down into mint, tree, citrus, floral, spice, and urban grass. And I don't ever think of my oils that way. And I love the way it gives us an emotional direction to go for each of those. And that's probably something that Jolene will cover for us today. That looks great, Jolene. Essential emotions. Are you ready to feel good more often?
Sorry about that. It's been a while since I presented this way. I may be more baby tired than I thought. So many of you probably already recognize the essential emotions. That's a book that I talk about every time that I get on and that I use it all the time in helping. And so this is some information from them. I'm getting ready to sign up to be certified as a coach with them as well, because they have done such a dynamic job in talking about emotions and putting them in proper perspective and stuff. So I hope that today, some of you have heard me talk about emotions before, but we're going to delve a little bit into some other stuff besides just the emotions themselves and why we have them and what they're all about. So this is like the base of everything that we're going to be talking about, is that to be whole, it is to make sense, or sorry, I don't like their writing on here.
Yeah.
To be whole is to make a space for the whole range of human emotions. So how many of us only like it when we're happy?
Mm.
How many of us are okay when it's sad or frustrating or exhilarating? If we don't know what it's like to be sad, we can't effectively know what it's like to be happy. Without knowing how to look at the difference and compare the difference, you don't experience the same range of it. So to be whole in our life and in our life experiences, we need to make space for all the ranges of our emotions and give them place for where they are in our life, instead of trying to deny them or to be afraid of them or to be even ashamed of them sometimes. Sometimes those hard emotions that we have make us who we are, that we really like. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about this a little bit about the science behind essential emotions. some of the tools and habits that we can have to help our body chemistry process our emotions, and then practical emotional wellness. And that's the part that I love to delve into the most, but this other is really, really important to kind of grab hold of. So this is it's not a graph, a visual of how our body has to have all these parts with it. And the body seeks for wholeness and balance. It's always trying to keep our body that way in all the functions that we have. And emotions are processed through the entire body itself. And so take note of this right here, that for whole wellness, it combines the spiritual, the mindset, and the body. And then notice all the way around it is nourishment. Did you guys realize how important our nutrition is to our emotional well-being? We're going to discuss that a little bit as well. Okay, so this slide just kind of shows that every cell in our body processes emotions and is affected by them, and that it's inside of our cells. So many times we talk about how we feel something just deep in our soul. Our cells are feeling every one of our emotions, and they're reacting to them. And that's why we talk a lot about doing things to keep our emotional health healthy, because, sorry, there's a lot of people coming on, to keep things, to keep our body healthy is because our emotions, when they're not addressed and not taken care of, hurt us on a cellular level. If you have questions, you guys can raise your hands. So has everyone
Or put
heard?
them in the chat and I'll bring them up.
Okay, thanks. Has everybody heard about the 3 brains? Okay, it's amazing when you pay attention to the 3 brains, because we do process that in every part of our body. In our mind, is our logic and our intellect. Sorry. And we often feel like that's where we process everything, but that's just a small part of what we have. The heart, we process emotions in the heart. In fact, there's more neural pathways to our heart, from our heart to our brain, than there is from our brain to our heart. Not interesting? So our heart is what's telling us the first thing. So how many of us in life, things have happened and we feel the answer or the right or wrong or the way to go in our heart and then process it in our brain? Especially as women, I think we do that a lot. And then in our gut, I just have this gut feeling. It's real. Our gut helps process our emotions as well. Okay, so this is just kind of a slide that just kind of shows that we need to connect all 3 of those to feel good. So we need to pay attention to every one of them, not just the emotion. So emotions and our belief is what we're going to talk about. So in here, that's a good picture about life experience, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How many of you guys have all felt this way? Holding the baby, talking on the phone, pets wanting our attention, trying to do dishes, having kids, all of it. It's just, there's a lot of things coming at us all the time. It's like really hard to even know which way to move next. Okay, so as we process life's events around us, that we, in our mind, we're thinking, I have to figure this out. In our heart, we're feeling, I'm so overwhelmed. And in our gut, we just feel stuck. If you guys had all 3 of those emotions all at the same time, they're coming from all parts of your body. And we need to process it through that. And we also need to keep each of those areas healthy enough so it can process, which is one of the really interesting things that we don't talk enough about, is how each one of them relate to the other, and why it's important to pay attention to every single one of them if we want that proper emotional health to happen for us. So this is kind of a picture of all of it. Our belief, we're talking about how we're feeling. In our head, we're just trying to pour everything in there and figure it out and try to figure out A, B, C, D in there. In our heart, how many of you guys think I'm not feeling good enough? Does anyone else ever feel that way? So just a plug in the coaching that I'm starting to do is I'm on a mission to dramatically help self-doubting women to find themselves and explore who they are and own who they are. So that's just a plug in. I thought that that was all fun when this was on the slide. In our heart, we're not feeling good enough. And that's how I feel all the time. And we don't have to. And then in our gut is where we weed out. What do I need to weed out? That's what our gut's telling us. I need to get something out of here so that I can feel that balance again. Any questions on any of these so far?
No,
Yeah,
I
I'll be
love the
honest.
name of your group to help self-doubting women, because I think that's all of us.
It applies to all of us for sure. Okay, so this is just a slide that kind of shows the ones that I just went through here, just so you can kind of see. I didn't have a big one of the reaction one, but that's really important to sit in there, is that in our head, our reaction is the tension. Our headaches are just mind overwhelm. In our heart is where we can feel the conflicting feelings. And in our stomach is where we feel unsettled. You guys identify with each one of those? As I say that, take just 30 seconds here and think about how you have experienced that same emotion that you're dealing with, and you're feeling it in the different parts of your body and telling you different ways of how they want to be addressed. Okay. And all of these things together makes it how we believe our self-belief on it. Okay, so again, with that few seconds, as you're processing that, is like really giving to heart as to what do we need to weed out of our life to help process and have our body be more whole. Okay. I know I'm moving kind of fast, but I'm really excited for the end of it if we have time. Okay, so essential oils support healthy emotions. So I think everyone on here has a good base of essential oils, but we know how fast they react to our body and to every part of our body, to every cell. Again, there's the receptors, and the oils know how to address every cell of our body for what it might need, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. So they anchor a healthy biochemistry, they support a healthy cellular function, and they promote a physical and emotional detox. Have you guys taken advantage of that, the detox? Especially even the emotional one, sometimes just addressing and processing those that are there. Let's see. I thought this was interesting to be reminded of, is that the oils don't heal themselves. Okay, the oils are not what's healing the body themselves, but they're reminding the body how to do it and giving it the support to do it. That's the most phenomenal thing for me, because our bodies know it. And sometimes with all the toxicity that's out there, both physically and mentally, our bodies forget because they're so bogged down and just taking care of what's right in front of them. But with the oils, it helps the body go, oh, you're right, I have that strength, I know how to do that. And then it can get to work. So remember that your bodies are incredible, and these oils are here to support that. And this is just a reminder of how many drops, how powerful, how potent the oils are. Just a single drop can make a ton of difference. You don't, sometimes, how many ever overuse the oils?
Mm-hmm.
One drop that's not going to be enough. I need 5. And then you go, okay, they keep telling me I only need 1, maybe 2 for this. I'm going to see if it does the same thing. Try it sometime when you're having that headache and you're using that peppermint, instead of putting 3 or 4 or 5 drops on, try 1 in your hand, on your temples or on the roof of your mouth or wherever, and see what 1 does if it does not do the same thing. You don't need to overuse these. It won't hurt you, but you don't have to, because they're that powerful and the body knows how to use them.
Can I share a quick story?
Yes,
In
please.
church on Sunday, I was holding a hymn book with a friend next to me, and we were both singing, and I was worried about my breath. And so I was reaching into my bag with my left hand, and I'm right-handed. And so I was trying to find my supermint beadlets, and I actually have peppermint beadlets with me. And do you know how hard those are to get out? And you only need 1 little peppermint beadlet to freshen your breath. And I'm doing it one-handed, and I got 3 in my hand, and I set down the container, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to have to use 2 hands to put some of those back in. So I just popped all 3 into my mouth. And I want you to know I had the freshest breath ever, but my whole nasal passage was cleared out. I mean, I could feel it all the way in my head. I thought, boy, that's just a headache helper right there, but probably one would do. But I was amazed how my whole nasal passage got cleared out just by, anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
One
Well,
will
and
do.
And those little beadlets have like a 4th a drop
Yep.
in them. And
Yep.
that's how powerful they are. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, because that's a perfect example of how potent the oils are. And then again, this is just a reminder that to choose carefully what oils you do. Sometimes we get a little bit lax and go, oh, well, my friend had this one from the grocery store. I'm just going to try that one because it's $2 cheaper or whatever. Do not succumb to, I can't think of the right word, but don't let that be your game stopper, the pricing, because by the drop, these are extremely affordable. How many still have like one of the original bottles that they ever bought and are still using it? I mean, I very rarely have to replace any of mine because it goes so far. You want the quality, you want the testing, you want especially that certified pure tested grade. No other company can put that on their labels. That's huge. And I've seen, and I keep on marveling at how much effort they put into testing those. And if it doesn't work, if it doesn't hit the grade every time, then they won't use it. One that always has stood out to me from the very beginning is they had made a contract with a town overseas. I don't know where it was at the moment, but they says, okay, if you produce this oil, but you have to use glass bottles, you have to make sure you have to keep the quality of the things that you're using and how you're doing it, and it will be tested before it ever leaves your place. And so they made the contract with them, and when they came back to get them, it didn't hold up to the standards. And they says, okay, let's see what it is that you're not doing right in stealing this and getting it ready. And come to find out, they couldn't afford glass bottles, and so the town was using plastic, and it degraded the integrity of the oils. So of course they threw all those oils out, and they helped them buy glass bottles so that they could use it to make sure that the integrity of the oils was maintained. Isn't that incredible? doTERRA didn't say, okay, the contract's over until you find bottles. They said, okay, let's find a way to get these bottles for you so that you can do it. And then did you know also that the oils are tested at the place that they're processed as they leave port to come to the place wherever I don't think Utah's the only place that, is that's their only distillery?
Yeah, I think they have other places that they probably.
So
send
so at every place, it's tested again to make sure that there's nothing that has interrupted the line of purity with it. And so much so that on the bottle, they have a QR code that you can look at and see the whole line of where that bottle of oil came from.
And I think
Now,
it's
is it-
actually a lot number that's on the bottom of the
Is
bottle.
it the lot number?
Yep. And you go to sourcetoyou.com.
Oh,
and you
thanks.
type in the number that's on the bottom of your bottle. And see.
Okay, on the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. I'd never done it.
Yep.
But I've just heard of that and I trust that. So
Yep.
on the bottom, if anyone does it, like put it in the chat or something. So, or put it on the, tell Shaleen so that we can all hear about it. I'd love to. I might have to do that just to try it. Okay, so we're going to talk about how we use essential oils for emotions. This kind of goes without saying that they're dynamic in supplying targeted support for healthy conditions and for our healthy emotions and for our physical body. So the first way that I think most of us use it and the way that we were first introduced to it is the smell. How many of you guys remember the first time that you smelled the oils? What did you think about that, Sylvia?
Great. I mean,
Yeah.
you felt the immediate reaction, you know, that you get when you inhale an oil.
Mm-hmm. Did it surprise you?
Yes, because I had never experienced it before, and the way it just went, you know, and affected my mind and my entire body. It was great.
Okay, so how many years have you been using it?
Let's see, I started 2015.
Okay, so do you still feel the same about it? Do you still
Yes.
get that same feeling and
Well, I want to
emotion?
say I feel better and more secure about them than I did when I first started.
That's awesome. That's way awesome. So, and that's just by smelling them that we feel that difference. Imagine, you know, all the other ways that it makes a difference for us. And I think I said this earlier, but I bring it up again that our heart has the most receptors and it's first impacted by the smell. Just the smell of the bottles affects it. And so we know from the smell that that goes in through our nose, through the olfactory, and then this one, it just has given me a little bit more information when I found this slide. Look how many of those affect the memory as it goes through the olfactory bulb and into the cortex and I'm not even going to try to say them. I know I'll butcher them, but how they affect the memory and then the emotions just by the smell of the oils. Incredible. Okay, so this is just kind of a lineup that just the essential oil stimulates and it is interpreted in the limbic system. Then you get a chemical response and an emotional response and then a physical response. Just kind of the chain of how it affects us. Okay, topically, so because we're talking about emotions, notice that we have our three brains here. That we use them in all of those different places, topically, that really affects us. Does anyone have a favorite place that they like to hear them? A lot of times as I talk about emotions and they go, where do I put it? I go, put it where you're feeling that emotion. Does anyone have like a place that you usually feel those emotions the most intense? I find I put a lot of mine on my heart. That's where I feel it a lot. And then the second place is on the back of my neck.
Yeah, back of my neck and my temples is where I do a lot.
Yep. And so make sure to look at what oils you're drawn to topically using them for this. And then internally, and this is again just to say that you want the best quality. When we say you take oils internally, only do it with doTERRA oils. And you also know that they even have the supplemental facts on the back of them if there's any question about it. There's a couple of them that they say not to take internally. Some of them I still do because sometimes they have to put regulations on there for law wise. But so anyway, one of my favorite ways of doing it internally is I have gel capsules, you know, the ones that the veggie capsule that you can take apart and put your own in there. So I have like a little dish of my favorite ones in the morning. And I get up in the morning and I go, besides my basic ones, I go, which do I need support with today? And I put a couple extra drops in there. I just feel like I'm like setting myself up for success with that. Okay, so the thing that I want you to think about as we've done this is, what is it that you want to plant in your life? We want healthy emotions. That's one of the reasons you guys came here today, that we want. So to have that, it's like planting the seeds to make that happen. So
I kind of compare the weed picture with the picture you just showed and kind of think about, yeah, we're weeding things out, the emotions we don't want, and then we want to plant and bring up the positives.
Yep. And so this is hopefully a really good reminder for anyone who's not fertilizing the ground to bring us healthy emotions and stability in our life. And our number one, as we've been talking about, the importance of our brain, our heart, and our gut, is to have the proper nutrition. And so I'm not going to go into this part of it because there's a lot of classes. And if you have any question about why these would be so important, then contact me or Shaleen, and we'll give you all the information that you want about why this is so important for your emotional health, as well as other things. Then we talked about our gut is a place that processes those emotions. And like the gut is one place that we ignore the most. And so if you're having a little bit of trouble there, consider one of these. And this isn't an updated slide, obviously, because our PB Assist is changed. And it is, how many are taking it? The new PB Assist. It is phenomenal, you guys. I've taken this PB Assist and I feel a difference with the one that they have changed, and it has so much more to it.
Yeah.
And so these products are invaluable.
And while you're on this slide, Sylvia asked in the chat about a detox protocol. And yes, we have a 30-day one that uses these products. But I think when you mentioned detox earlier, you were maybe talking about just the fact that we can put lemon in our water. You can just put lemon in your water and it will detox physically, but also uplift emotionally with those citrus oils.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Okay, and then we're talking about our moods. So don't forget adaptive and the turmeric and how powerful those are in helping us maintain that balance. So
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to just, I wanted to say something about the adaptive, you know, how it, helps your feelings. I'm a substitute at school and I carry my roller with me because I don't know what to expect. And so I don't use it on the kids, but I put it on myself. And I had one little boy that he was just off the chain. You know, he wasn't having a good day and he was on his desk and I'd have to get him off and, that kind of thing. And so I asked him to come to my desk. And so I put some on the palms of my hands, the roller, and I did like this. And he goes, "What's that?" And so I said, "Oh, it's just my oil." And I let him smell my hand. It wasn't but 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, not minutes, seconds later that he went and sat in his chair and I had no trouble with him after all. And he was really happy after that.
That's
so I just wanted to share
incredible. Well, thank you. I'm so glad that you did, because that's exactly what reminds us of how powerful these are. Because sometimes it gets to be so commonplace with us that we don't remember and realize how much they really do affect those around us. But just put them on yourself. I've been learning that with the twins. Of course, you don't use a ton of oils with them and you watch what you do, but the best way is to put them on yourself and then they just get it while you're holding them. So perfect reminder. I hope everyone remembers that, because you can internalize that in so many ways with your own family, with those around you, and just remembering what it's doing for you. Thank you, Sylvia. Okay, so this is the part that we have a little bit of time with, okay? Moment by moment support. So sometimes, has anyone ever gotten just totally overwhelmed with their emotions? You don't even know what to do. They're just so powerful at that time, or you can't seem to get out of it, or you don't even know what oil to go to. Okay, so this is the part that we're going to talk about for just a little bit. Okay, does everyone recognize this wheel?
Yes.
This is a powerful wheel, and you'll find different ones in different depths of interpretation and being able to do. But what I love about this one is that it helps us to like kind of identify that if we want like a citrus to make us feel good and we don't have wild orange, you can get the tangerine that was free this last month if you in your order, if you did the 125. And so just because you don't have the oil that I recommended for this, there's another one in that spectrum that might be, or what makes me uplifted in a citrus oil maybe does not speak the same way to Shaleen or to Heather, or, you know, and so there's classes of these different ones. And as you can see, they put it in so that you can see how some of the different ones start to blend in with each other there. So one of the, I'm just going to go over and I'll come back to it, but this is the ones that I want you to use. I want you to evaluate if you have any of these at your home. And if you have some, then see what you don't have. If you don't have them, I strongly suggest one of these two kits. This one is the oil himself. They just come in 5 ml bottles. But if you like to diffuse it, that's the easiest way to do it. That's easy if you want to affect the whole family or the whole classroom or whatever. The rollers are easy to take with you and to be able to use on the spot. Okay, so as you're choosing what you want to have there, you can, as you see, they have the oils in each of the different categories and the specific blend that they've done. And so like the forgive is right there with the herbs and grasses and the trees. So forgiving is a renewing. That's like a growing, wanting to let go of past things and to move forward, like the growing grass, like the growing trees. If you want to be consoled, your florals and your trees, you start moving into that direction when you need the healing that comes from that. Florals are very, very healing. For the peace, for reassuring, probably even say that's what I go to is the florals and the mints along into those areas. Motivate, the mints and the citruses, and for cheering, for uplifting, the citruses and the spices. So isn't that cool how that works with that? So keep that in mind. If you probably have it in some of your handouts or books or stuff. So this is the book.
That was in this book too. The last pages I was just showing you where it breaks it down into those different parts. And real quick, a friend of Leanne's, some of us know Leanne, that's our doTERRA friend. Her sister's mobile home burned to the ground in this last freeze that we had here in Round Rock. And when I was trying to come up with things I could do to help, she had all the clothes donated she needed. It's just, and I thought, well, she's lost her oils. So I went to my pile and I had a roll-on of the emotional oils set. And I thought, what more could she need than just emotional help? And that was most appreciated by her, she said, because the range of emotions that we go through when crazy things happen to us, you're able to use it. Well, the day I'm depressed or the day that I need some support here, or I'm emotionally lost it here, we can use those oils, and it's just a blessing.
It makes such a difference. I have a friend that she's my oldest son's age, and she has severe cancer, and emotions during that time are like all over the place, you know. And so I really wanted her to have all of the oils at her house, so that when I said, you need this one for this emotion that you're feeling today, that it was right there. And there was a whole group of people that sent oils to her. So she has all of the oils so that it's available to her. So not everyone can do that. I put that out there because that was such a heartwarming thing. And she has like so used them and been so grateful. We can't all have all of the oils, and that's what make that kit so powerful, is to at least start with that. And then as you add to the oils, you won't ever regret having an oil on hand. It'll come in powerfully at some point. Okay, so this book has put in your chat, Shaleen, I can't see it as I'm doing
Yep.
this right here.
Yep.
But how many of you guys have experienced this book? Has anyone, like, how many has not experienced this book? Put yes or no.
It is awesome.
Lisa, I saw you raising your hand.
Sylvia's used it.
Okay,
Lisa has not.
Lisa, you haven't. We need to change.
Has.
Maybe you'll be my guinea pig today.
There
We'll
we
see.
go.
We'll see how brave you are.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a really powerful one. If emotions are ones that you're like wanting to delve into right now, both the book that Shaleen has and is a lot of informational ones that if you like more of the research ones, if you just need like an answer, yeah, this one. If you just like need an answer right away and something to go to, then this Essential Emotions is what I go to. And then I go to the one that Shaleen showed when I need more details and try to figure out more myself. And so kind of we're just going to go through the process of this, okay? And then if you want more information, let us know. But so what I do when someone I'm using with for emotional help, the first question is, well, after we talk for a while, is do you want to feel more of something or less of something? So each one of you guys on the paper that you've had there or in your mind, identify when I say that and you think about where you are emotionally, do you want to feel less of something or do you want to feel more of something? Who wants to be our guinea pig today?
Go for it, Lisa.
Okay, you want me to tell you what I want to feel less of?
You want to feel less of? No, we're going to. So if you were
Oh.
to identify one, it would be less of something, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I would take you here. Any of these words stick out for you? Do you want to feel less confused, less insecure, less numb, less sad?
Less overwhelmed and angry.
Okay. Okay. So, and then this is the feel more one, just so, okay. I'm glad that this is the one that I had the less one already, so I'm glad you chose it. Okay, so then I would go to this list of it. So you had overwhelmed here. Does my arrow show when I'm
Yes.
moving it? Okay, so you picked overwhelm here. Nope. So of all of those there, any of those words stand out?
Stressed, unappreciated sometimes. Are you
Okay.
wanting me to answer, or are we all supposed to just do this ourselves?
Well, I want you to answer and I want everyone else to do it on their own. Okay.
Okay.
Just so we can go through them. Okay. So, and on angry, of those words, any of them stand out?
Angry, just angry. It's in there too.
Okay. Okay. So at this part, I'm going to exit sharing. Okay. So this part, so that information that I just showed you is on this wheel. On this side, it's I want to feel less of, and this side is I want to feel more of. And so I want to feel less of, we just did right here around the middle, all of the first feelings that you had, and then here on the outside of it is the specific, more targeted things. So I'm going to go to there. It was so overwhelmed, and it had you said stressed. So that oil would be serenity. Okay, and unappreciated would be red mandarin. And then you had angry, we're going to go there. And it was angry, with angry being the feeling. And that's the cardamom. Okay. So then this is the book that goes with it. And so I'm just going to go to serenity first. That was the first one that came up. And so it has a page for each one of the oils. So what I'm going to do is serenity is the oil of tranquility. Okay, so everyone listen to this because you'll find it applies to more than just the one we're talking about. It's going to talk about the oil, and I want you to see how it resonates with you. Okay, serenity has a powerful effect on the mind and heart. It is a uniquely calming blend that invites individuals to relinquish feelings of stress, anxiousness, and being overwhelmed. Serenity can support those who struggle with an overactive mind and an inability to unwind. From feelings of responsibility to feelings of worry, serenity assists in quieting the mind, releasing agitation, and inviting calm. When individuals over-identify with responsibilities or fears, they create emotional states that do not support proper rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation. Driven by constant pressures and perceived burdens, individuals struggle to keep up with the demands of their lives. This blend powerfully addresses the underlying states that are often the cause of restlessness, stress, and imbalance. Serenity encourages individuals to first reconnect with themselves and discover the place that lies within, and then reconnect with the humanity of others in others. It invites them to acknowledge when they feel out of balance and allow time and space for true renewal. It also gently reminds that others are often caught in a similar cycle of imbalance and encourages compassion and acceptance of them. Serenity brings a sense of tranquility that allows space for personal reflection, peace, and healing. Isn't that in itself powerful, you guys?
Mhm.
I bet it resonated with every single one of us. So I'm going to read the other one too, just because I want you to see how then you choose what it is. But like, even though we've identified 3 oils, I wouldn't like to use all of them all at once. I would pick the one that stands out and use that all day today. Smell it, put it on your wrist, put it in your diffuser, keep it with you. So whenever you're having even those little bit of feelings or just need that little bit of extra reminder support, that's the oil that you use that for. Okay, red mandarin is for unappreciated. How many have red mandarin?
Mm.
Yeah. If you don't, is it even one you can get on a regular basis?
I don't think so. Let me check. Nope, it's not on our list.
Hey, well, if it's one that speaks to you, talk to one of us who has it. We'll send you a sample. Red mandarin is like my favorite. Okay, red mandarin is childlike perspective, is what it's known for. Mandarin is one of the parent fruits of all modern citrus varieties and is considered to be one of the sweetest of all citrus fruits. As such, red mandarin oil offers a unique perspective. It invites individuals to see life through childlike eyes, appreciating the sweetness, wonder, and innocence in life. Children are not as easily set back or weighed down by the cares of life. They are quicker to move on and bounce back after encountering challenges. Red Mandarin invites adults to embrace this healthier, more resilient way of existing. Red Mandarin can also be instructional in supporting parenting. Oftentimes, parents forget the magic and the miracles of the lives they have created or accepted. The demands of day-to-day living, including the stress of providing for needs, addressing emotional upheavals, and sheer physical exhaustion, can dim the joy, excitement, and purpose children can offer. Parents often find themselves feeling overwhelmed, unappreciated, and unable to meet the ever-present demands. This can lead to being discouraged, frustrated, angry, and filled with self-doubt. Red Mandarin assures that while parenting can be extremely challenging, it can also be rewarding and refining. This oil encourages all parents and non-parents alike to remember the innocence of childhood, to invite them to accept that the years of influence are short, life seasons change, and children are constantly evolving, learning, and growing. Red Mandarin refreshes the weary and the careworn parent and assists them to refocus on the beauty contained in the simple moments of life with the child. However, Red Mandarin reassures all who are overwhelmed that even though adult cares and concerns can be hard, life is still full of sweet moments that deserve to be noticed. Can you guys see how powerful this process could be? What do you think of those, Lisa?
Those sound really cool. I do love Serenity. I use that at night, but I'm gonna just have to use it more throughout the day. But both of those are really cool.
So if you want me to reach it about the being angry, then let's meet up again and we'll go more into it. Okay.
Can I share a quick
Sounds like
story?
Heather's gonna send me an old, oh, sorry.
Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
What was
I
that?
was just gonna, sounds like Heather's sending me an old copy of that book, so.
Okay. Yeah, it's a life changer.
It is. So when I was first introduced to the oils, I was all about physical for so many years. And I did get that emotions book and I had it with me. And the Itobi scanner, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Itobi scanner, but I got the Itobi scanner, which actually reads the frequencies in our body and compares it to the frequency of the oils and tells you what your body needs at the time. And I was at a friend's house sharing about the oils with her, and she did this scan on her about 10-year-old daughter adopted from Russia. She said she's just off the charts, crazy. She just can't focus. She's struggling. And the top oil that came up for her was geranium. And I thought, oh, great. I just went right to physical stuff and I didn't quite know what to tell her because it's not a real common oil. But when you go to geranium in the emotions book, it says it restores confidence in the innate goodness of others and in the world. It facilitates trust, especially when an individual has lost trust in others due to difficult life circumstances. It also assists in reestablishing a strong bond to one's mother and father. And we read that with a 10-year-old who had just been told that's what she needed. And I thought, oh my goodness. Emotionally, that's exactly what this 10-year-old needed. And her mom said she put it on her feet every day and every morning, and her behavior calmed and changed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who writes these books. I don't know how they figured out what emotions help. And that's why I bring it up. I'm kind of this skeptic. I'm kind of like, wow, who writes this? Who comes up with this stuff? I just know it works.
It totally does, you guys. It's awesome. Okay, so I'll make the offer if there's anyone here who wants to experience going through a session with this. If you don't have my contact, you can get it from Shaleen, but I'm willing to do one for each one of you guys who are here if you would like to have that done and to just experience it to see if it's something that would fit for you. So just to reach out. And Shaleen, if you have, there's just like a couple of minutes if you want to say anything else about that book.
Thank you. I do. So in this book, which is called Emotions Made Simple, there's a few other things that it goes into similar to what Jolene has showed us. There's pages. This first one is grateful. And it doesn't just say, oh, we'll use this oil to be grateful. It says, well, if you're having some mild situations and needing to feel grateful, here's some suggested oils. If you have moderate, here's some. If you're having severe, here's some. And here's a journal prompt to help you journal through some of the emotions you're processing. And here's some activities which you can do, not necessarily to do with oils, and giving you suggestions. Go for a hike, watch an animal, try and do something creative. I'm like, this book is awesome. It's not, hey, just buy oils and they're going to solve all your problems. This book really has a lot of information. The second half of the book, and just a couple things to show you. Well, first it has positive emotions and negative emotions, kind of like Jolene went through there. So you get a lot of answers there. But the second half of the book lists oils and how they can be helped. So it also, if you have an oil and you're just curious what that oil can help with, it will give you the top uses, the emotions it can be used from, the oil family it comes from, the main ingredients for it, and even a little safety in case. Most of them are for internal use, but it'll say if it's not for internal use. But I just think it's gorgeous.
Jolene?
Yes.
On there, just the page that you're on,
Uh-huh.
look, it has a place that it'll say it'll take you from this to this. The oil.
Oh, is that what
you're-
it means? Taking you from mild to, wait, what do you mean?
No, look like it red mandarin or whatever one pops up at the oil.
Okay.
And it just has like towards the bottom, it can take you from being unsettled to settled, or that it helps. It's not on there. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
have to look and show
I'm
you.
not sure. And this may be a different, I don't know if the one she gave me is the current book. So it may be an older variation of that. But also down below it says where they're sourced from with doTERRA too. Anyway, I love this book. It's very impressive, and it gives you a great outline of emotional ways to use the oils. It's not the book that Jolene was reading from. That's the one she had a picture of that just lists each oil and tells you a paragraph or two about the oils.
Okay,
Can I-
someone
real quick?
asked where you could get it.
I don't know. Sherry
let's
gave
see
it
if I
to me.
can-
Is this one
I-
on Roma Tools, maybe?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yes. I will check and
Oh. Okay, yeah,
So-
that's
Aroma Tools has most of the books, and this is a company because doTERRA doesn't sell all these books, and you can usually let me just see quickly if it's there, but what's the other one called? I think. Yeah, so Emotions one that Jolene was showing you is on Aroma Tools. Yep, and the other one might be with Oil Life. I don't see this one on Aroma Tools. Yeah, it's probably Oil Life.
this one you can get as an app as well.
Yes, and that is an awesome opportunity. Let's see. Yes, Oil Life, oillife.com to get this one, and aromatools.com to get the other one.
You
We
can
got
also
the
get
answers.
it.
Now it's on the recording. I love it. Thanks everybody for coming. Jolene, we're done. You're amazing. Thank you so much for all that great information, giving us some of the tools we need to move forward and help ourselves and help others. While we were having this class, I got a text from a dear friend who's been a customer for a long time saying, my niece needs oils. I just got off the phone with her. She gave me a list of 14 oils that she wants to start with and she's ready to go. And that just brings me so much joy to know that she's helping somebody else. Please spread the word, help your friends, help your neighbors, help your family, anyone that'll listen, because they can have this wonderful natural help like we are getting. Thanks for spending time with us. We'll be in touch with y'all to let you know when the next masterclass is towards the end of March. Thanks for coming, guys.